Hi, welcome to Coffee with Kim. I'm your host, Kim Bassett, and we are in day 3 of our series of Women Supporting Women. And I could not be more excited about these women that we have on today. I would like to introduce you to them now. Today on day 3 of our Women Supporting Women series, we have 4 amazing women. Mary Grace comes to us from Las Vegas, Nevada. As a wife and mother, she is also the owner of Social Register, where she connects and empowers executives and business leaders to strengthen their current skills and build stronger business relationships. Patty is a former teacher and comes to us from the road, where she and her husband Dan are traveling the country in an RV, filming their show, Exploring Through Our Lens. Michelle is a scientist from Houston, Texas, where her passion of excellence at Getting to Yes program is influencing hundreds of people. Kathleen, a mother and financial analyst, is also coming to us from Texas, and her passion for learning and supporting others also happens to be Michelle's daughter. Ladies, welcome to Coffee with Kim. Welcome, everyone. So excited to have you all on today. As if anybody's been watching Coffee with Kim, you guys know that I'm going to start, and we're going to have you each introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get right into an amazing conversation. So today we're going to start with Mary Grace.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Grace Iniguez. I'm here in Las Vegas, and I am the CEO and owner of Social Register Network. And we bring industry leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs together to make meaningful connections.
Awesome. Okay, and then here we go.
I am Patty Hunt, and I am coming to you from an RV on the road. I am traveling all over the U.S., and my goal, mission, passion is to inspire, empower, and educate women to live life to the fullest.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And Michelle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Edwards. I'm a scientist, geologist by day, but I am working on doing all kinds of things to help empower women. I've started a Get to Yes program. Right now I'm doing my fitness journey, where I coach and teach people how to eat better, get moving, and do great things and change their mindset. Because ladies, you know, we never high five ourselves enough. So my goal is to get you to high five yourself and give yourself grace.
Awesome.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen Bullock. I'm actually in Arkansas as a financial analyst for a logistics company. I am a mother of soon 3 under 3. Life is crazy. But growing up, I moved a lot. And so kind of the pattern in my life is really finding the right seat on the bus. And so I'm very passionate about helping people find where they are most passionate and helping them grow.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you for taking a few minutes. I really want people to know what amazing women you are. You each are so different stages of life, right? And I think that's what's the beautiful thing of, you know, bringing on mothers, daughters, friends, you know, Patty and Mary Grace and I here in Las Vegas. Well, Patty's now in and out of Las Vegas. So, you know, we've started this, you know, this week of, you know, women supporting women. And when I thought of women supporting women, I could not think of 4 more amazing women. I just met Kathleen, but Kathleen, if I know your mom, I know you're probably a chip off the old block type of thing. So how do women how do you support women, and how, you know, jump in there, anyone that wants to talk about that.
Okay, so I'll go. The question is, how do you support women? And that is, so I was a teacher for 20 years, and I've learned that you have to meet students where they are. Some are, you know, not as advanced as others. So that's a big thing for me, is meeting women where they are, because everybody is on this journey. And we've all started in the beginning. We've all started at the bottom, so to speak. And so
Uh-oh. Darn it. Well, she is on the road. I will want to explain that. So Patty is on the road. She was filming from there she is. There she is.
So sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
I think the big thing is, again, meeting them where they are. But my biggest thing is sharing where I've been. So a lot of times women see you all ready to go, whether that is, on a Zoom or at a meeting, whether you're made up, you have your kind of mask on when you go out, and to let people know, I started out scared to death to be on camera, scared to death to get on stage. Exactly. And most of us have, but I realized that women saw me having been on stages all over the world and thought that's how I've always been. And that wasn't the case. So I was like, yeah, let me share my journey. Let me share my story. Let me share the struggle of what got me here.
I love that you said that, because our story, right? We like to hide, right? And keep that a mystery. And it should not be. Our story is our history. And if we share that, that allows us to connect. So, and I think saying that word, I'm going to go to Mary Grace. So, you are the connector. You and I both have been given that title. I've been given that title, from my brother and my daughter, but you really are. That's what you do every single day.
Yes. And with women, so with Patty and I actually have a close relationship, just like Kim and I. So just to second what Patty said is sharing my journey, because I agree with Patty that we see the outside of showing up online or showing up at an event or a meeting, and people just assume that maybe we already have this spark, or we're confident, or we're just like ready to go on camera all the time. But like Kim and Patty said, that day one, I did not want to go. No, I had 2 business coaches tell me I needed to go show up online and show up on social media. And even though I was using it for personal reasons, I was like, no, the business is not about me. This is not about me. But later on, I learned very quickly that it is not about me, but I have to show up for others so they can learn more about the business. So the way I made it comfortable for me is to just be authentically me. You're going to hear the giggles. You're going to hear me do the craziest things. You're just going to hear me be authentically me, how I am with my husband and how I am with my son. And I think that empowers women to really be themselves. Like, we don't have to show up. It's just be you online, so you're relatable, so people know that you're a real human and people can relate to you and call you a friend and really want to connect with you in that way. And that really coincides with connecting. So that's why I brought that up, is when you're connecting with others, and when I am connecting to people, it's because I know that they align in so many ways, and because they've opened up to me authentically and genuinely and shared things that they're needing supported. And then that allows me to say, oh, hey, I have this person that I could connect you with. So I think, empowering women to just be true to yourself and celebrate each other, so then we can feel comfortable to be ourselves on camera. I think it starts within us first, and then portraying that out, and then everyone will follow.
Yeah. And I had to learn too myself, is not everyone's going to be for you, right? Mm-hmm. But finding those people, Mary Grace, use a lot of tribe a lot, right? Those people that you align with, that you connect with, that are for you, and that's okay, right? When I was young, I used to think that everybody should like everybody, and that's you get to older and you realize that's not the case. So yeah. Michelle, what about you?
Well, being in the oil and gas business, I've always been the only woman in the room. So I've always had to, my dad taught me, I had to be faster, smarter, earlier, all of those things, so that I got noticed and I could lead and command the conversation. And as more women entered, then I kind of grabbed them by the hand and said, okay, this is the way we need to be together and supporting each other. So for me, it's always been, like you guys have both said, being the example, empowering others and saying, you got this. Yes, we're different because we show up different. I used to tell people I loved working with men because they want to hunt it, kill it, and eat it. And you knew their goals. They want to talk about their feelings. Are we going to hold it? What are we going to do with it? They want to hunt it, kill it, and eat it. So we have to communicate with them differently. So that's what I taught a lot of the other ladies that came after me that I pulled into the conversations. So for me, that's a big part of it, is learning how to communicate and helping others see their value and see, yes, we're different, but we're different in a great way.
Absolutely. Kathleen.
Yeah. So, you just heard the woman speak. I had an excellent example of a strong female. I saw my mom, work tirelessly and pull us out of nothing. And the entire time she was there saying, you have these expectations, you reach these goals, you be successful, and you be respectful. There's so much more to that, but a lot of those priorities that she instilled in us kind of carried me through life. And it's amazing how many women aren't empowered as they're young, and so they don't feel like they can accomplish anything. I've never felt like I was at a disadvantage because I was a female. I've never been afraid to speak up, and a lot of that is because of my mom. And so with those natural abilities, I've joined groups like the Junior League, and I was the membership VP for 2 years, where I got to get up and speak and celebrate women for accomplishing things that they didn't think were important, but they are so important. Every day at work, I'm making friends and developing relationships where they come to me and they're telling me, their insecurities, and I'm sitting there saying, why? You're fantastic. You've got all of these skills, and you wouldn't be where you are today without them. And I know I hear myself talk and I just think, oh my gosh, that's my mom. But I think it comes natural. When you are positive and feel empowered, you want to bring others with you. We have so much room to shine, and we should share it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's what I love about, we don't always have the mother-daughter thing, right? Some of us, like Mary Grace, I have sons too, right? Mm-hmm. And if we were to have him on here now, I'm sure he would, say the same thing, where it doesn't matter whether we have daughters, sons, or if we have no children, right? How you show up and how you influence. We as women, I feel that we do that influence, right? People who have influenced us, people, how we have influenced others. So how have people supported you? Because I know you guys are huge supporters, because you have all you're supporting me coming on the show and sharing your story. So how do you support others? Because that is something I think as women, often that just comes natural to us, but I don't think it comes natural to all of us.
Right.
Anyone.
So this is how women support us, or the other way around.
Yeah. How do people are supporting you right now?
I could go first. Well, with Kim and Patty, because I know them in person and we have a relationship, Kim has supported me through one of the craziest things I've gone through this past year. And just, oh my God.
I didn't bring the tissues.
I don't think I have any either.
It was through a business and personal, and just a simple text and just checking on who I am, how I'm doing. Mm-hmm. That helped. Obviously, you can tell that it really hit me, and I can't really speak now. But she helped me through that journey. And because she got me through that journey, I am empowered to help women get through that journey as well, and know that just because you see me as a CEO, or you see another woman as a CEO, there's things that they go through that you think that they don't go through. And I went through it, and I'm sure every woman, every man has gone through it. And I want to empower women to take care of themselves, self-care. And that's what Kim taught me. Excuse me. With Patty, she doesn't know this. I think I told her one time that when I first took over the social register, I was scared out of my wits because the pandemic hit. There was a lot of expectations, a transition, and I got on a call with her. Initially, she's a member of mine. She was considering not renewing because she didn't know that I took over. When she found out I took over, she renewed and she just listened to my mission, my values. And she's like, I love what you're doing. I support you 100%. I know you're going to take it to the moon, like so many different words, but that talk alone just fired me up. I'm like, I got a member to renew because of me, not because of what the past was or what the business brought in, but because what I was bringing to the table. So I never really shared that capacity to Patty, but those are two people who were a part of my journey a year in, and I want to empower women to find their tribe, because there's women like Kim and Patty, and I'm sure Michelle and Kathleen, if I were to, really build a relationship with you, I'm sure you're the same, because you wouldn't be on this show if you weren't, that you need that tribe and you don't have to do it alone, because there's so many different things personally and in business that you need these kind of women to be on your side and to support you. Again, it could be a simple text or just that Zoom call I had with Patty, and she had no idea that from that day I was fired up. I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I'm going to shift the business because there's people who do believe in my mission and what I want to bring to the table.
No,
and I apologize for getting a little emotional there.
No,
I'm feeling it too. And you hit on something that is so important, so incredibly important, is sharing those days that are, and I can't curse, but I want to, that are just the worst day. And as business women, I felt like every day when somebody said, how are you doing? I'd say, awesome. Meanwhile, my life was totally falling apart, like literally falling apart. So when I started on this journey, my husband had West Nile virus, almost died, couldn't work for a whole year. And then we got into business and people would say, how are you? And I'd say, great, I'm awesome. Meanwhile, we were ready to lose the house. We had 5 kids. 3 of them were getting married, couldn't help pay for anything. And I would say, oh, I'm awesome, because that's what the industry taught me I had to be. And then I started a little bit sharing with people, and I shared with a woman who seemed totally put together. She seemed like everything was going wonderful. And I shared with her, and she shared with me she was ready to lose her house. And this is what we need to stop doing. Again, we put on the makeup, we put on the mask, whatever that looks like. We smile and we say, oh, we're doing great. No, there are days that is horrible. My husband and I kind of teach mindset. And I used to say positive mindset. There's no such thing. It's about looking at positive, sitting, we had a storm and we couldn't leave here today, but sitting in the gazebo, watching the birds go by. It's about that, but it's also about sharing that today was a horrible day or things just didn't work out, and be able to talk to people like him and Mary Grace and, others, and say, yeah, not such a good day today. And then sometimes you could get that lift or that, hey, I've been through it, I get it, or a suggestion, some advice, or just a shoulder to cry on. And that is, if anything, that I really want to get out there, is for people to be able to have that person that they could say, wow, the worst day in the world right now. Like, it's not working. Because by talking to you, Mary Grace, as much as you said I helped you, it helped me to solidify the kind of people, the kind of groups, the kind of organizations I wanted to be part of. And you couldn't have been more in line with what I was about and what I was doing. So it went both ways. So I'm so grateful for you. And same with you, Kim, having met you and, just seeing what you're about. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about, is us getting to be real.
It is. I was having breakfast. I went on a little walk. I could be just focused on this and trying to get everything done, but I'm learning that I have to take the moments, right? my daughter, I went to Texas for 3 months, and I have 2 daughters that were living here. When I came back, one daughter's, bought a house with her boyfriend, her sweetheart, her future. And, there was no transition for me. I just came home and she was gone. And so I have this precious daughter that's still with me that you guys saw probably on Tuesday with me. And, she was going to go for a walk. So I said, I'm putting my tennis shoes on. I'm still in my sweatpants right now. I have a shirt on and a sweater because I went on a walk with her. And we came back and had breakfast outside, and we were talking, and she's like, Mom, I love what you're doing here. She says, but we need to have a show where we talk about community. And I love that Mary Grace, Patty, that we don't have to do this alone. I used to be that person that would go down to the rabbit hole. If I was having a bad period of my life, or if I was having a bad time, I would go down the hole because I didn't want anybody to see that, right? Yeah. You talk about those masks, the holes. We need each other. And that is really what I wanted to do a whole week. I could have just done one episode, right? And had a whole bunch of amazing women on, but I wanted some consistency here that people got to see over and over again. And women got to see that if they've had a bad experience with some women, that they're not all like that. Because I have walls. Wait till you see what I do for Monday's show. It is going to be wall after wall after wall, because I've discovered from doing this and putting this together that I have so many. So anyway, sorry. Me too.
Don't be sorry. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's cry, because I know I've cried in my bed alone, and I don't want other women to do that. Pick up the phone, call somebody, text somebody, say I'm having a crappy day, instead of saying, oh, everything's awesome. No, it's not. Have people that you can reach out to and say, I don't want to get out of bed today.
Or call up and celebrate. Something amazing just happened for me, and had that celebration, and that too, right?
That's big. Yes.
And it's not being boastful or whatever. So I'm talking too much. So
No.
Michelle?
No.
No, it just leads into a story I was thinking about. I remember when one of the crazy men in my life left. And I remember saying to Katie, I said, she said I was crying and I was a mess. And Katie says, Mom, are you okay? And I said, well, of course I'm okay. I have to be okay. This is the way I have to be. I have to have the weight of the world on my shoulders. And she goes, Mama, you don't have to. You don't have to. But I always felt like I had to be one step ahead. And it wasn't until I think 8 years ago that I finally went on an all girls trip. And I met, I thought, what am I going to do? I'm not going to know anybody. And I knew a couple people, and right away they grabbed my hand and they're like, we're so glad you're here. And they were so different. They were just these amazing ladies. And I found my tribe. I didn't know I was missing that, because I just did what I had to and brought everybody else along, and I didn't lean on anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's so great we're having that conversation, telling people, yeah, it's okay. And anybody that follows my fitness journey, every day I'd say how the day before went, and I'm on day 115 now. And some days I'll go, you know what? And not only did I eat the cookie, I ate the whole jar. And, I gave myself grace. It's, I righted the ship after that. But I think we have to give ourselves grace. We have to have that positive self-thought that you talk about, Patty. I've done a lot of research, and it shows that your positive thoughts and your negative thoughts come from different parts of the brain. So if you can silence that negative side and practice and work on the positive side, it's a muscle. So work it. You'll get better at it.
I find that acknowledging it, saying I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm whatever the negative emotion is, to be okay with being that way for a time. Once it gets to be 3 hours a day, a week, too much. Yeah. But to acknowledge that, hey, it's really hard today, and talk to somebody, and say, it's a hard day today. I think that helps people get back to that positive side of things.
Yeah. And what did I learn? Why am I sad? What's going on? What can I fix? Is this something that's in my control, or is or is it just a sad day? And I think the minute you take control of it and don't let it control you and be okay with it, I think is huge.
Totally.
So Kathleen,
Yeah, I've
you're
had so many people pour into me. I would not be here without that. I think God puts the right people in place at the right time, and we're set on earth to connect. I swam a large majority of my life all the way through college, and I had some of the best teammates that are, my absolute best friends today. And I can remember not doing well in a race or getting hurt and just crying to them, and they just held me. And vice versa. Just that, being vulnerable and being disappointed or being hurt or having a hard day and having someone right there with you saying it's okay. Actually, right before this, I was talking to one of my very good friends. She's become one of my best friends. And I said, I don't even know what I'm going to say. Like, we're supposed to talk about empowering women. I don't know. And she said, she listed like 10 different things. And I was like, wow, thank you. Like, thank you for seeing me. And I didn't even realize I was doing that, just having a friend saying, I see you and you've got this, is incredible. I think everybody's had a really tough year this past year. And, when you're down in the dark, you really find who your real friends are.
Yes.
And it's so important just to keep them close.
Yeah. So it just happens to be that the other women here, Kathleen, are mothers as well. A little bit further, different stages of mother or grandmother. You're a young mom, right? And I have daughter-in-laws who are young moms right now. How has that changed you? And what's the question I'm really trying to get at here is how do young moms support one another when you're just, you got these kids, you got the husband, you've got everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you are maxed out. So how do you still get that support? How do you give that support?
Well, this past year, we joined a Sunday school group, and these group of moms have just come together. During the pandemic, we were home quite a bit, and they would just text and say, hey, I'm having a rough day. Do you guys want to meet up at the park and go for a walk? And sometimes it was talking about it, and sometimes it was just walking together in silence. The friend I mentioned earlier, we have kids about the same age, and we come in and we're like, I didn't sleep a bit. And then she got me coffee or something. So it's just finding friends and being vulnerable and saying, hey, this is tough. Like, there's a reason not everybody's a mom. There's a reason why people only have one or two, and now we're going into 3. But just having those friends with you saying you're not alone, you're not failing. Mm-hmm. Every day you have to go at it knowing that once they go to bed, tomorrow's a new day. And even if they don't go to bed, they'll wake up and they don't remember much. And I think just keeping the attitude of you love these babies more than anything, and you were that mom for them for a reason. I know my mom had tough days, and she is my mom for a reason. I would not be here without her. And I know that is true with my kids.
Yeah, it's I love that we've had the gift, and it wasn't on purpose. We've had a mother and daughter on the last few days, and it's not always easy, right? That mother and daughter relationship, and so it can be challenging. It can be beautiful. It's messy, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's that, like yesterday, I'm going to bring on, so we have one comment here, and it's Celia from yesterday. She says, good morning. You are all strong women. Thank you for your strength and being so transparent. Even with her, and they said it's a choice, right? It's love and it's a choice. And like you said, Kathleen, you wouldn't be here without your mother. I wouldn't be here on this earth without my mother, either. So I'm grateful for that. But no matter what kind of mother we are or that we've had, are still, there's still that love and there's still the gratitude for being able to be here on this earth. So,
and that's definitely not to say that I didn't challenge my mom. I was the most challenging. But, out of that comes growth and understanding. And when you're parenting your children, you say, oh my gosh, my mom was right. So, I mean, I know not everybody is as fortunate as I've been, but being a mom and working and being involved in all the things that you are, it is hard. I mean, you have so many things taking and you just have to keep giving. And when these friends come along that are just as empty as you are and fill in, I mean, that's everything.
It's magic. It really is. All right, ladies. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? I think this has been such an edifying experience. I appreciate all of you so much. You all have these special gifts that you bring to the world. How can we get a hold of you? In any last words? So I'm just going to go to each one of you. Michelle, we'll start with you. And how can they get a hold of you? Any parting words?
They can get a hold of me at michelle@bluedogexcellence.com. I have a great book that I wrote on getting to yes that's digital. So if you want to learn how to get yes in your life and lead with yes, sometimes we don't even know we want the answer yes. So please request my book and I'll send it to you. And also friend me on Facebook and follow me on my fitness journey because I'd love to share you my tips and tricks that I share every day.
And she's got some really good ones. Any other parting words you want to say? Okay. Mary Grace?
Yes, you can friend me on Facebook here or follow me on Instagram, and my handle's just my name, very easy. Well, I say easy, and then you see my last name, and you're like, okay, no. But there it is. And parting words, be you, be authentically you, because I like to say that your vibe attracts your tribe, and I know that has happened to me in the past year.
Thanks so much, Mary Grace. Kathleen?
I guess you can connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Really, I guess parting words is just keep going. You're not alone. Life is tough. It's supposed to be tough. And as long as it's tough, that you're growing.
Thank you so much. Kay Patty?
So I think finding your tribe is the big thing, but a tribe where you can cry, you could be vulnerable, you could say, I really screwed up, or today's really a bad day, and have that support. And I've had that with Mary Grace and you, Kim, and I'm so grateful. For me, I have gone through a major transition this year, and I'm now living in an RV. And what I want to give to your listeners is the opportunity to connect with me on Facebook. I'm happy to be here and have a conversation because there's so much I've learned in the last 20 years. And I just like to share it. And, what I'm going to do next is coming. I do have a YouTube channel of our journey and our travels. But yes, please just message me on Facebook, and I'm just happy to connect and help women that are just starting out get through that. There's a lot of tough times, and it's sometimes hard to talk to your friends. So if you need to, reach out to me on Facebook.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, ladies. Appreciate you, and I will chat with you in just a minute. I just hope you all can see the authenticity, the transparency, and the powerful emotion that comes when women come together, whether they know one another or they don't. There will be a bond with these women just being on this show together. I am grateful for the women that I have in my life, those that just strengthen me, teach me, and are a part of my life. I am so profoundly grateful, and we'll see you tomorrow.